Ogenkere called Azai, Anya Ogu, Pastor Van Van Vam, and Sonia Parawa for defrauding Biafrans millions of dollars. They investigated them and find that they stole a lot of money from the account of Biafra and refused to give Biafrans that money. So they have been arrested now. They're questioning them. They interrogated them now. And they warn those who are following them should quit because they are tracking your phone. If you know that you are following Ogenkere, Pastor Van Van Van, Sonia Parawa, please block your phone and quit because they are tracking you. They say that those who follows him are the people who spend that money. Don't find yourself in jail because right now you will never hear from them. Only thing you'll be hearing from Ogenkere, Sonny Aparawa, and Pastor Vam is only their old video. Whatever they say is old video. Whatever they tell you is old video. They have been arrested just 1 hour ago. Interpol arrested them in Spain 1 hour ago. I don't know where they are going and where they are coming from, but they have been arrested in Spain just 1 hour ago. Be warned. Be warned. You won't say, I didn't tell you. God bless you if you listen. Congratulations, Biafrans. We will recover all our money from criminals. Call them acting prime minister. They are all criminals, evil and evildoers. Run for your life. They have been arrested. Congratulations, Biafra.
Nigeria. In the restoration of the United States of Biafra. And those people, most Biafrans that have this is what we call the sixth sense, when things are happening, it's not just what is happening this November, December. Most of them have been threading back what happened even since February to this restoration, till this January. And these are Biafrans that have been following Obatobie's footsteps. They have been threading it. Each step, each move everybody is doing, they are putting it together. And one major thing that most of them, the think tank of the Biafra restoration, have come to present to me is that this thing that is happening right now is the same thing. It was the same thing that happened before Nnamdi Kanu to Wazirike, to our able leader Nnamdi Kanu. And it tried to happen to Obatobie, but luckily, thank God, Obatobie has the right people around him. And those right people around him have been persistent and consistent. They could not be mowed down by the criminals that supported Obatobie. Not that supported the criminals that entangled him, because what the criminals do, which they did to Wazirike, some of you know the history of Wazirike. When the politician, one of those politicians, it wasn't Ifanyo, but one of them, went to the DSS. Anyoba, thank you so much. Went to meet Wazirike with the criminals that surrounded Wazirike. And when they went to meet him, those criminals that Wazirike trusted, he saw those people with this criminal politician when they came to dissuade him to drop Biafra. So when he saw people that he trusted, people that he thinks he trusted, surrounding this criminal politician, he was able to let go of the Biafra restoration. The same thing happened to our able leader Nnamdi Kanu. The same criminals that surrounded him, that pretended to be fighting for the Biafra restoration, were the same ones that moved him to Kenya, where Nigerian government took him. and today he's languishing in Nigeria DSS dungeon. The same criminals that surrounded Nnamdi Kanu that pretended that they were fighting for Biafra restoration. They were the same individuals when Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, has said there will be sit at home or there won't be any election. These criminals will go collect money from the Nigerian politicians in Southeast and South, and come and telling them the canon now, how are we going to do this now? Let us cancel this. We're going to let the election go, or maybe the next one. The same criminals that did this thing to Nnamdi Kanu, they are the same criminals that overthought they moved into the Biafra Republic government in exile. They are there.
Exactly.
They are doing the same template that Fulani tells them to do. That same template that Fulani uses to disrupt the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. It is the same template they came with this time. But you know what? They failed. Because it's a different breed of Biafrans that is in charge at this time. It's a different breed of Biafrans that have studied the history for the past 100 years. The different breed of Biafran that knows how the Fulani penetrates Igbos, penetrate Biafrans. A different breed of Biafrans that understood how the Fulani terrorist cabals and Nigerian government works. So when you see the criminal ex-Brigadier cabinet members, the criminal lobbyists that are parading with them in the name of trying to restore Biafra, Biafra's already stopped them on their track. That is why they don't go. They can't move anywhere, not when some of us. Not when some of us. So Nigerian government, I promise you today, the money you are giving to the is a way.
All right, lovers of freedom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you are just joining us now, please do well to check back our previous videos so that you can understand bit by bit where all these controversies are coming from. So that you can understand what is really causing this problem, what is actually causing this commotion in this cabinet house. Just few weeks, Simon Ekpa was taken in for interrogation, and all these things have been happening. So is this the way we are going to run the government? That means the zoo government is better than us now. The zoo government we are fighting for, the zoo government we have been fighting since, trying to be liberated from them, we are now doing the same thing. Now, Ngozi now is acting as the deputy prime minister. Director of finance is acting as this one. I don't understand the kind of amount of funds these people have been taking in. But these whole videos will explain everything. Now, I'll be showing a figure. This is a cryptocurrency deposit that was made into the Biafran Republic in Exile account. Now, you can see the figure there. You can see how much is in this particular Bitcoin account. So, to me, what is causing this controversy is just money. Who will be in charge of this fundraiser? Who will be in charge of this particular account? Who will be in charge of this particular account? All what they are after, these people in exile, this particular government in exile, all what they are after is who will do this one, who will be in charge of this one, who will be taking care of this one. That is what they are after. That is what they are fighting for. Who will be in charge of the funds? There is nothing again that is causing this issue, if not who will be in charge of the funds. You can see the funds are highlighted on the screen now, so that you understand the audacity of what we are talking about. Then you understand how deadly these people are. How deadly these people are. But well, let's continue. Now let's listen to Ngozi's own part. After that, we'll listen to Sonny's own part. Because to me, I don't know why this should be a problem. Simon Ekpa is not dead. Simon Ekpa have not been extradited to Nigeria. Simon Ekpa is still in Finland, just that they did not give him access. He don't have access to so many things now because of the kind of high crime allegation that was labeled on him by the Nigerian government. Terrorism case is not an easy case. Terrorism case anywhere in the world is not an easy case. It's not something you can just sweep under the carpet. No, he is being interrogated and he has presented his own fact. And very soon he will gain access. So I don't know who is causing all this commotion in this cabinet. I don't know who is causing all this problem. This is the period we need to defend our land so that the whole world will realize what is actually happening in Southeast. This is the period, this is the time. After our declaration, that is when we need to come together and fight this Nigerian state so that they will not have any other option than to sit down on the round table with us to discuss our referendum. I don't know who is causing this problem. Now, let's continue. Now, listen.
Issues. If there are people that have problem and we do not want them to disturb the government, we just push them to those people. But we dissolve this CRC when they stepped out of their boundaries to write a letter to overthrow our Obatobie, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, without the approval of the Brigade Cabinet, without the approval of the government, without the approval of any leadership of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Immediately, they didn't see Obatobie 1 or 2 days. This small CRC committee that they said they elected, their fellow criminals, to lead them, went and wrote a letter, and that letter, I believe most of you have seen it online, to overthrow our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, according to them, to appoint somebody that will take over Obatobie's position. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has laid a solid structure for Brigade and for the United States of Biafra from day one, from beginning to end. There is no vacancy anywhere in the government under Obatobie, not even one. But to show you how criminally minded this CRC, headed by Mama Dabo and Professor Chomo Okoma and their gang, show you what it is. They know that Obatobie has a structure in place. They went ahead to write that letter, that illegal letter. And when that letter,
the formalization
and again, I hear somebody was saying, the Mama that was saying, they wrote the letter, and what they wanted was after we come back from Finland, they will start discussing the letter. But they already circulated the letter to the whole world.
And this
anything
transitional government is
in a place where there are not 4 or 5 people online,
post-occupation of
how are you going to secure? There's a reason for that position.
Both arms shall function
Just like every
immediately after liberation of Biafra from Nigeria for a specified and finite duration not to exceed 4 years. My people, I want you to reason today. If today happens to be the only day you can reason, please utilize today to reason, because what Nigeria has come to do is to destroy us completely. After the arrest of our Prime Minister, Nigeria came to destroy us within. So I want you to reason. Follow this very, lecture very, very well. I want you to leave every other thing you are doing and focus, because I may not be able to do this again. I am not here for saga, so I may not be able to do this again. This may be only one time that I'll have time to do this. Pay attention, my wonderful people of Biafra. Now, let's take that again. To constitute a transitional government of Biafra, which PM had already said based on the conversation that I played for you before coming here, before coming to the Biafra Charter, from PM direct. To constitute a transitional government of Biafra known as TGB, immediately after liberation of Biafra, immediately after liberation of Biafra, not immediately after declaration in Finland, we are still in exile. In case you don't know, don't let anybody confuse you. We are still in exile. And I don't want to talk first. Let me finish reading, then I will talk. Now, immediately after liberation of Biafra from Nigeria for a specified and infinite duration not to exceed 4 years. Pending the formalization of Biafra state structures, post-occupation and post-liberation. Oyibo go ono cholo kana translate ya n'Igbo. Omu banye, omu Biafra, the Biafran people. Do you people do you people understand it? Do you people understand it, or you want me to translate it in Igbo language? Let me take that again. Let me take that again. It says, immediately after liberation of Biafra from Nigeria for a specified and infinite duration not to exceed 4 years, pending the formalization of Biafra state. Listen, the formalization of Biafran state structures, post-occupation and post-liberation. Everything, before we even talk about anything, we are going to first of all liberate ourselves from Nigeria, and this transitional government is post-occupation and post-liberation, post-occupation of Nigeria in Biafra territory and post-liberation after we must have, evicted Nigeria from Biafra and liberate ourselves from Nigeria. Then we begin to talk about transitional government. We haven't even come to BRGIE. We haven't come to, I want you to follow. Borrow ear this evening. Borrow ear this evening. Borrow ear this evening. I know the reason I said that. Not for insult. I know the reason I said that. Now, to secure Biafra people and its territory, the Biafra Republic government in exile has formed and deployed the Biafra Liberation Army, BLA, Biafra Resistance Fighters, BRF, and Biafra Air Force, Biafra Navy, the Black Marines, and the Dragon Fighters Marine. Structures of BDFG. The Biafra de facto government shall consist of 2 arms. Now, Ugo Ebelugonambawu, and I want everybody to listen. Ugo Ebelugonambawu. Now, the functions of BDFG, Biafra de facto government in the homeland. Now, the Biafra de facto government shall consist of 2 arms. A Biafra Republic government in exile, BRGIE, which is number 1, based outside of Biafra. Remember, the Biafra government consists 2 arms. Number 1 is BRGIE, which is based outside of Biafra. And number 2, a Biafra government within Biafra, to be known as Biafra Republic government in the homeland, known as BRGH. Biafra Republic government in the homeland. Now, both arms shall function in tight coordination and in harmony with the BRGIE in the apex role. The BRGIE will be in the apex role, which is Biafra Republic government in exile, will be in the apex role, because every decision and things we will be doing will come from BRGIE down to de facto in the homeland. Right? Now let's continue. Functions of BDFG. The sole function of Biafra Republic government in exile and Biafra de facto government is to carry out the mandate of the Biafra de facto government as stated in the Biafra Charter Authorization. BRGIE shall respect laws of host communities in furtherance of this mandate. BRGIE shall respect international laws dealing with self-determination and protection of human rights and rely in particular on the Geneva Conventions Protocol 2. BDFG, Biafra de facto government in homeland will work with our peoples at home. Will work with our peoples at home in Biafra territory and in Nigeria. That we are no longer, in fact, let me keep that one for now. We'll get there later. We'll get there later. So, I'm bringing it back to the screen. I am not in any way following anybody. Right? I am showing you where our Prime Minister stands. And wherever our Prime Minister stands, that is where I stand. And our Prime Minister cannot enact law and do otherwise. Something that has been signed into law of Biafra, which they all joined together to sign. Which all of them joined together and signed into law in Finland during the convention. So, in as much as that is where our Prime Minister stands, then I will have no problem standing there at the same time. Now, I'm going to continue with the ending part of the page 26 because someone has already asked me to go back to page 26. Probably that is where my voice stopped, coming out. Can you hear me? Please let me know in the comment section so that we'll continue immediately without wasting any further time. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? If my voice is coming out clear, let me know now so we continue. Very, very important. All right, so we'll continue now. Let us continue. Now, functions of BDFG. The sole function of Biafra Republic Government in Exile and Biafra de facto government is to carry out the mandate of the Biafra de facto government as stated in the Biafra Charter Authorization. BLGIE shall respect laws of host communities in furtherance of this mandate. BLGIE shall respect international laws dealing with self-determination and protection of human rights and rely in particular on the Geneva Convention's Protocol 2. BDFG will work with our peoples at home in Biafra territory and in Nigeria, cognizant of the state of Nigeria's occupational forces foisted over our people, to keep alive and project Biafra's sovereignty and independence in accordance with the mandate, and to mobilize. Now pay attention, I want you to remember here because we are going into the next page. And to mobilize, right? To mobilize and do what again? Or one day about this evening. After this broadcast, now, and to mobilize from the other page. Now this is page 27. Organize and manage our people for socio-political activism in order to carry out our resolve for self-determination. Now listen and listen very, very attentively, my Biafran people. At all times, the functions of BLGIE and BLGH, Biafra Republic Government in Homeland, are to be well coordinated, harmonious, complementary, and seamless. Following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the Biafra de facto government, now, this is where we are now. It says, following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the Biafra de facto government consisting of BLGIE and BLGH together shall form the nucleus of the transitional government of Biafra Oh, should I explain it? Do you want me to explain it in Igbo language so that you will understand it? Following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, it did not say following the redeclaration of Biafra in Finland. It said following the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria, the liberation, following the liberation of Biafra from